And we're live once again with more tennis talk. As I stated earlier for our men's tennis preview, it is extremely snowy outside, so these guys aren't likely to be outside playing tennis, but we gotta have indoor courts, so they'll be practicing. My name is Corey Jewett, and joining me today are three members of the Bullets women's tennis team. I don't know why that was a mouthful to say. Erin Sweeney, senior from Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Did I say that right?
Yep.
All right. Sam Boardman, or Samantha, as she's listed in the roster, from Greenwich, Connecticut. We talked about this earlier, and I just forgot. And you went to the Brooks School.
Yes, I did.
And then Maria Martinovic. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got confused a little earlier. I tried to say Martinovic. I don't know. I don't even know. Martinovic from Lawrence Township, New Jersey, and you went to the Princeton Day School, correct? All right, so I'm 3 for 3 so far with this. So, ladies, thank you again for joining me today. We were supposed to start tomorrow with a non-conference match at Hood. That's been postponed to next Thursday at 2 p.m. But you guys are lining up against Swarthmore on Saturday, a nice, nationally ranked team to kick off the 2018 spring schedule in the Centennial Conference. So you guys are getting underway this Saturday. I believe the match starts at 10 or 10:30 a.m. And, of course, it will be indoors because Swarthmore also got about 2 feet of snow. So I wanted to open things up and talk a little bit about study abroad because, Maria, obviously you didn't play in the fall. You were gone. You weren't in any results. You just came back. You were studying abroad in Greece.
Yes.
And then, Erin, you also did a little bit of study abroad last year in Paris. And, Sam, I know you're talking about it, so you can just listen to what these two have to say. But, Erin, we'll start with you. What was your study abroad experience like last year?
Well, I went to Paris for my study abroad experience, and it was awesome. I'm a French minor, so all my classes were in French and everything. But it was definitely interesting to come back your spring of junior year, and you have all these new members on the tennis team. Like I came back, and Sam was on the team, and it's a lot of fun just getting to know the new girls and like seeing the new dynamics.
Maria, how about you too?
Yeah, so I studied in Athens, Greece, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah, I loved everything about it. I met so many interesting people. I learned a lot about Greek history and culture, and yeah, just overall ate a lot of amazing food, visited beautiful places.
And Sam and I were in Gettysburg all fall, but hey, it was equally as beautiful around here too. So Erin, we'll start with you as the senior. Of course, this is your fourth season on the team. You've got a couple seniors with you, Erica and Emily.
Yes.
I forgot last year. Erica Paul and Emily Lutz. What do you guys see as your roles as seniors on this team?
I see our roles first and foremost as just creating a positive morale on and off the court. And I think just encouraging everyone to be enthusiastic and really committed, just fostering that amongst the team members. And then also I know that the one thing that the three of us had talked about was just creating a really supportive environment where we can achieve athletically, but also just have fun.
Well, don't worry, Sam. It can be your turn to talk now. I know you were itching to say something.
I'm good.
So, Sam, you as a first year played at 4 different singles flights last year. I believe 2 of the 3 doubles flights as well.
Yeah, I did.
So, you're at the top of the lineup this year, right behind Maria at number 2 there. What has been some of the biggest changes to your game from your freshman year to now to your sophomore year?
So like you said, I played all over the lineup, and mostly what I focused on was understanding that the girls that I would be playing are going to be very hard hitters, lots of consistent long rallies. So mostly what I took for the summer is focusing on volleying, so getting to net, cutting off the point quickly. I spent at least 3 days a week with my coach back at home, working on volleys, working on serving and volleying, especially in doubles, and just sort of rounding out parts of my game that had little kinks to them, but also focusing on my mental game because tennis, you're by yourself, so it's very, very mental. So focusing on sort of the aspects of not getting in your head, that's my biggest struggle, still struggle with it today. And then also just making sure that even when I get behind, to work myself back in. And yes, I go to a lot of tie breaks, but tie breaks are something that's an important thing that I'm going to have to learn. So having the ability to sort of challenge and sort of put myself in the best position to win the tiebreakers is another thing as well.
And Maria, switching gears a little bit, Erin talked about how she went to study abroad and came back and there were new people on the team. Coming in this year, there were people that weren't on the team anymore, and particularly Laura Gardiska and Jillian Minnerly, and of course I'll give a shout out to Mary Cicio as well, who I'm sure is watching this broadcast. What's the team been doing to compensate for the loss of some of those seniors that graduated?
It's definitely, been difficult losing so many good players in the lineup, but I think that our freshmen, they are very strong players, and our spring break trip, it especially gave a great opportunity for them to test themselves out at like some of the top spots in both singles and doubles, and they really stepped up both in those matches and in practice. And yeah, they've been like very easy to get along with, and we've all kind of mixed and matched playing doubles together, so it's been a great team so far.
Erin, we had Christian in here earlier. He's a senior, of course, and we talked about how his game has changed over 4 years, and of course Sam, we talked just now about how her game has changed in just a year's time. So for you, over 4 years, what have been some of the big things that have changed for you going now in your final season?
Yeah, well, to be honest, when I came in as a freshman, I was definitely lower ranked on the ladder, but I've worked really hard over the past 3 years to really improve my game, and this team has helped me so much to grow as a tennis player and as a teammate. And already on this past spring break trip, I've gotten to play more singles than I ever have before. Primarily before, I would just do doubles. So that's been really fun, and it can definitely be challenging, like Sam was saying. It can get like mental, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I think in terms of goals for this season as a team, we just want to finish higher in the conference, and I know all of us seniors just want to really enjoy our final season together.
Sam, I'm just going to skip you for a second to talk to Maria a little bit about, of course, her game as well. Maria, you've played at the number one position since you came in. 2.5 years ago, you came in during the spring semester of your freshman year. And that's a tough position to be in the Centennial Conference. You're lining up against nationally ranked opponents, regionally ranked opponents. So, what have you learned in your 2 seasons that you're trying to apply to your junior season here?
I've definitely learned to just kind of play in the moment and play point by point, not to really focus on the entire match, and also just to think about the things that I've been trying to work on in practice and just bring them to life in a match situation. Also, it's all about mental game, as Sam and Erin both touched on. Like, every single match that I've played, like, you have your ups and downs, and every player that you play is different, and on different days, you have different challenges to face. So I've learned that it's important to just kind of play in the moment and also just have fun. Yeah. Also, I think that the new players, they have been showing us a lot of just great cheerful attitudes, and it just means a lot when you're playing out there all by yourself and you hear your teammates calling your name and just saying good things about you.
You hope, most of the time. So kind of great segue, by the way, right to Sam's question here about the newcomers. Sam, obviously you were a newcomer last year walking in, and you've learned a lot in your time, your year and a half here at Gettysburg College. So, what words of advice have you given to some of the first years so far this season?
I would say what's most important is just sort of keeping a good attitude and showing growth over practice, because it is really hard coming in as a newcomer. I mean, for me, I remember seeing as names you said, Jillian and Laura and Mary, and I was absolutely terrified of them, especially Mary. Mary scared me, but I love her now. Love you, Mary Cicio. And so to them, I think it's really important that they put their all in and they really, really focus on their strokes, just getting the basis of the team. And like Maria and Erin both said, they've really meshed very, very well. And I think having so many of them, you get to see so many different personalities, and they've all stepped up when they needed to, specifically Amanda Vinges and Sydney Fisher. So Amanda, as of right now, is my doubles partner, and so she's stepped up a lot recently, even in singles as well. She was playing, I think, 3 over spring break, and she was undefeated. So she's been really, really stepping it up and showing that she's going to be a very strong competitor. And then Sydney Fisher, though she's a little bit lower the lineup, she's working very hard. She's very quiet, but she has a very strong presence on the tennis court, especially in singles. And I'm looking forward to seeing if she'll get into doubles as well. But it will be exciting to see how they'll go in the couple of years ahead.
Yeah, I think Amanda's actually sitting at 6-0 this season so far. So not too bad for a first year to start your career off 6-0. Erin, switching gears a little bit and going to the lineup itself. When you're out there playing on your court, it's kind of you against your opponent individually, and then in doubles you do have a partner out there playing against two other people. But tennis is just an interesting mindset because you're playing individually a lot of the time, but at the same time you have to keep in the back of your mind what's going on with the team. How do you make sure you get all the members of the team on the same page, both the ones that are on the court at the same time as you, right next to you or further down, as well as the ones that are on the bench helping, watching, cheering, and saying your praises?
Yeah, I think that it's so important that everyone be on the same page regardless of your spot in the lineup, because I think it's no secret that when we're all working really hard and we're all putting in 100% effort, like day in and day out, on the court, like our morale is better, and just our commitment to the game is better. And I think that it's really important that when we have people like sitting on the bench cheering you on, that can be like so motivating to you, just to know that like you have these like 6 girls who are next to you even though they're not on the court with you. And then I think that we saw that firsthand over spring break when our coach was playing around with the doubles lineup a lot just to see what pairings worked best. So it was so important that everyone was on the same page in terms of like willingness to try new things and just to communicate with one another. That was really important.
There's times where you almost want to be like that final match or two, so that you have kind of an audience of your teammates there yelling for you and cheering for you. That's one of the most fun times, especially in the close matches, those 5-4, 6-3 matches. It's really cool. I know, a little stressful. I know. We had a couple of those last week. So, Maria, I'm coming back to you now, talking about the conference and the competition you see out there. How does competing against some of the top teams in the region helped elevate our game, both individually and overall as a team too?
Well, it definitely gives us a chance to practice new strategies that we've been working on in practice. Especially, we're lucky enough to play against 2 top schools, Swarthmore and Johns Hopkins, early on in our season. So we can kind of use those matches as learning opportunities and to test out what works, what doesn't work, and kind of also just, especially with double strategies, like it's important to just stay positive with your partner and also just see what the other team is doing, maybe pick up on some of their strategies too, and kind of implement those in the future.
Sam, you got a pretty big question here. I hope you're prepared for this. I don't know if it's come up yet, but the women's tennis team is under new direction. Allie Moyer Flores is a 2008 graduate of Gettysburg College, and she is coaching the team for the first year this year. So we're happy to have her. Allie was a senior when I first arrived at Gettysburg way back when, so I'm really glad to see her as well. And her son is actually in preschool with my son, so they're best friends. Anyway, Sam, you have the privilege of answering the next question. What has Allie brought to the program? What kind of energy, what kind of, skills overall and as a leader?
So Allie has definitely been like the glue that's holding us together, and like she came in with a like winning attitude. She was like, "You guys, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to win." And she knows what she's doing because, one, since she did play it here, she has the experience. But also she's really just sort of been making sure we're doing all the drills necessary that we have to, working on our strengths, looking at our weaknesses. As Erin said, putting together different doubles pairings so she can find the best lineup possible. And I think she has been such a great positive attitude to sort of accompany all the girls on our team. Everyone loves her. I know I love her, and you can go to her for pretty much anything. And she has been like the greatest addition to our team, and I'm so happy that she's here. And she's definitely really shown us that like the love of tennis can continue on even when you're out of college, and even when you get to like a certain age, and you can just continue playing, and like you'll still love the game no matter what.
And she brings her kids to practice too, and they're cute, so that helps too. Yes. So final question as we wrap up here, and this is kind of for all 3 of you, so you can pass the mic down the line here. What are the team's ultimate goals and expectations? Where do you guys want to be at the end of April?
I think I think I touched on this earlier, but just definitely to finish higher in the conference, I think, than what we're going in ranked as, because I really think that we have a great group of girls this year, and we really have that potential.
I think sort of making sure that we are all working as a team and not working as just individuals on the court playing at different positions. I think having that huge team aspect that we have already is going to benefit us when we're going into tough matches, as we have 2 right away. And so also I think using Allie and being open to change and being open to new strategies and new ways of thinking when it comes to playing the game of tennis.
Yeah, I think just challenging ourselves as much as we can in practice by playing against different people, and also just learning a lot about each other so that in match situations we can really support each other as much as possible and all just, feel good on the court and have as much fun as we can.
Well, it sounds like you guys are all on the same page to me, so you got a good thing going on so far. So that does it here for our Bullets Women's Tennis Preview. For Erin, Sam, and Maria, I'm Corey Jewett. You can catch the Bullets on Saturday at Swarthmore. There will be indoors for sure. Match time is 10 a.m. at Swarthmore. So thank you.